Hi, I'm Emily Jane and I haven't done one of these for a very long time, and I'm going to be reviewing 17 from Boots BB cream. It's a Blemish Balm. They've been around for about, well, they've been around for a while, but everyone's been talking about them for about 12 months or so now. On my blog, which is www.emily-jane.com, which I will put a link down here somewhere for you guys so you can find that. I'm talking about what all the fuss is about and what on earth they actually are and what they're meant to be, and then I thought I'd just concentrate in this video on reviewing the 17 BB Balm. Now, the first thing I thought before I did this video was, oh my god, I really don't want to do this today. My skin is really bad at the moment. Winter weather not doing me any good at all, so I have some nice breakouts, some sort of dryness. My skin is a bit ridiculous in the fact that the drier it gets, the more spotty it gets. Hooray for ironic skin. So I actually then thought that's probably the perfect time to do a review of a base makeup, because you actually want to see what it does and how good it is. So let's get on with it. Firstly, the reason I picked this up, I don't buy a lot of 17 stuff, but the thing that I liked about the idea of BB creams was that they actually helped your skin, and that they were something that were going to make you, a bit of a magic potion that would make your skin look better, which I really feel like I could do with. And this was one of the first ones I saw that actually promised that, whereas a lot of the BB creams that I've seen around are just kind of, well, they seem to be just glorified tinted moisturisers. I'm not a massive fan of tinted moisturisers, don't find they have enough coverage for me. No, they're great if you've got perfect skin, sometimes they're quite useful in the summer. I can talk about that at a different stage. So I thought I'd give this a go. The other reason I gave it a go, and one of the things I really like about it, is that a lot of the BB creams that I tried out from just before buying them, just tried out a bit of a patch test just on the sort of front of my wrist, which, top tip, good place to try foundations if you don't want to put stuff in the drugstore on your face, because it is a similar colour to your face usually, unlike the back of your hand, which is nothing like your face generally, so don't try out foundations there, it's usually a lot darker. Anyway, when I tried it out, it actually seemed like the light shade, which is what I have here, was going to be fair enough for my skin, because my skin is very fair. Most of them seem to be quite orangey, they seem to be quite dark in tone. So I've given it a good go. I have practically used this whole tube, which is probably a good sign, because I have kept using it, and it really has become my go-to kind of everyday makeup if I don't want to use foundation. So generally if I'm just running around, running errands, popping out, you know, I will use the BB cream instead of my foundation and my primer and my usual full base. I wouldn't use it for kind of nights out necessarily, well, apart from for one thing, which I'll talk about in a second. I wouldn't use it for nights out, I wouldn't use it for kind of meetings and work. I don't think the coverage is quite good enough for that. However, if you just want a really fresh kind of glowy look, a little bit of coverage, then it's really, really good for that. I'm going to pop some on now, so hopefully you can see the difference between kind of no BB cream and some BB cream. Now usually I would obviously not do the dotting all over my face technique. Now with foundation I really do use a brush or a sponge or an applicator, but I found with the BB cream it is quite nice to put it on with your fingers. It kind of melts into the skin. Now the first thing I noticed about this is the texture of it. The texture is quite thick, and it's quite akin to, well, it feels more like a primer when you're putting it on than it does a foundation, which I quite like. I quite like the fact it has a sort of smoothing feel to it. It feels like it's doing something, unlike kind of a tinted moisturiser. It feels like it is smoothing over my skin. It's giving me a smoother appearance. The colour is just there to give a little bit of coverage. I feel like almost the primer feel to it is giving my skin a better look and giving me some coverage. So I just smooth that over. I found it actually wears, unlike foundations, I found it does wear quite well on eyelids as well, so if you don't want to go for a separate primer, it works quite well on the eyelids as well. I don't know whether it's that kind of primary sort of kind of part of it that does that, but it does give you quite good coverage there as well. And you can just kind of load it up where you need a little bit more coverage, which is everywhere for me at the moment. And it melts into the skin quite nicely. So hopefully you can see that is a better, smoother overall appearance than before I had anything on at all. I don't think it is completely enough coverage for me when I am having sort of bad skin days like today. What I would generally do is then reach for my MAC concealer, trusty little MAC concealer pot there, the Studio Finish concealer. It's my kind of #1 concealer. It's brilliant for cover up. So I would add that to my look. But yeah, for an everyday look, just tossing on some mascara with it and a bit of concealer, it works really well. And I actually am quite a big fan, which I didn't necessarily expect that I would. Has it actually improved my skin? Difficult to tell. When I first started using it, and I have used it for a couple of months now, I did think I saw some improvement in my skin from a kind of blemishes perspective. I thought it was clearing up a bit. My skin is quite bad at the moment. I've got quite a few blemishes. I think that could be more down to kind of dietary things. Obviously it's January, I ate a reasonable amount of rubbish over Christmas and I'm eating quite well now, so there's a whole detox happening with my skin. And generally it is a bit dry from the weather as well, which, as I said earlier, does make it spotty. So I don't think it really ticks the box there. The other thing that I've really used this for, and I mentioned it earlier, that I really like, is when I want really full coverage makeup, which we do all want sometimes, really full coverage makeup. I've actually been using my primer, then I've been using my BB cream over the top of that, and then I've been using my foundation over the top of the BB cream, and that has given me like, wow, porcelain doll kind of smooth skin. It is quite a heavy makeup look, but it works really well. So all in all, 17 BB cream, I really like it. I am going to buy another tube, which I don't do lightly. It's quite rare with me for makeup to actually buy more than one tube of something. So I'd say big thumbs up from me. If you like this review, please also give it a thumbs up down there.